Welcome. We're doing a deep dive today to get you right up to speed on something pretty serious.
Yeah,
A major data breach.
that's right.
Over 160,000 people potentially affected after unauthorized access at Aspire USA. They're part of Valsoft Corporation.
hmm
And this deep dive is brought to you by Stonefly. They're leaders in enterprise storage, backup, disaster recovery, AI storage, cloud solutions, the works.
Very relevant for this topic, actually.
Exactly. And if you need secure, ransomware-proof storage, Stonefly sells air-gapped and immutable options. Just contact sales at stonefly.com for demo.
Good to know.
So let's dig in. What actually happened here? Why is this one, demanding attention?
Well, it's not just the number, though, that's significant. It's really about the type of access and how it all went down.
Okay.
So between February 12th and 15th this year, 2025, someone got into Aspire USA's non-production network.
Non-production. So like testing servers. Yeah, something
Right.
similar.
Kind of, yeah. Not the live day-to-day operational systems, supposedly. But here's the thing. On the 14th, Valentine's Day of all days, their own internal security actually spotted and, get this, interrupted a file transfer that was already in progress.
Whoa, so they caught them in the act.
Seems like it. Data was actively being pulled out. That really underscores, how serious this was. It wasn't just a quick peek. It was an active data grab.
And the data they were grabbing.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like the really sensitive stuff.
Oh, absolutely. We're talking names, naturally, but also social security numbers.
Ooh.
Yeah. And driver's license numbers, even financial account details. It's basically the jackpot for identity thieves.
That is a toxic mix. Social security numbers are, they're everything, aren't they? Keys to the kingdom.
Pretty much. Think about it. Your SSN unlocks so much. New credit cards, loans, government benefits. If someone gets that, they can cause havoc that takes years, literally years to clean up.
And driver's licenses, too. They have addresses, deeds of birth.
Exactly. Plus, your name and financial info. The risk of identity theft, direct financial fraud, it just skyrockets. It's not just an inconvenience. It can mean real money lost and a huge mess.
Okay, so they interrupted the transfer, which is good, but the data was still exposed. How quickly did Aspire USA move after that? What's the timeline look like?
Right. So detection on the 14th of Feb. Then you'd have this immediate internal scramble, right? Forensic investigation kicks in. They need to figure out the scope. What systems, what data, how deep did the attackers get?
Like digital forensics, dusting for prints.
Exactly. And then around February 27th, the notification letters started going out to people who might be affected. Same day, they filed a notice with the Maine Attorney General. That's pretty standard procedure.
February 14th to 27th. That's almost 2 weeks. In today's world, that feels, I don't know, a little slow. Is that typical?
That's a fair question. Everyone wants immediate answers.
Yeah.
But think about it, they have to investigate properly. Rushing out bad info could be worse, cause more panic or confusion. They need to be reasonably sure about what happened and who was affected before they sound the alarm. So balancing speed and accuracy is tough. 2 weeks isn't unheard of for that initial phase, but yeah, it definitely highlights that gap where people are potentially vulnerable and don't know it yet.
Okay, so they send out notifications. What are they actually doing to help the people affected? Beyond just, hey, this happened.
So the main thing they're offering, and this is pretty standard practice, is 12 months of free credit monitoring. They're doing it through a company called IDX, which is part of ZeroFox.
Right, the credit monitoring, like an early warning system.
Exactly. It flags suspicious activity on your credit report. They've also said, importantly, that they aren't actually aware of any misuse of the data at this point, but they're notifying out of an abundance of caution, which is, the responsible thing to do. You can't wait to see if fraud happens. You have to warn people.
Makes sense. And what about their own security? Are they plugging the holes, making changes?
Yes, they mentioned implementing additional security measures. Specifically, they brought up stuff needed for SOC2 compliance.
SOC2.
Yeah, it's a set of pretty rigorous industry standards for how companies handle and protect customer data. So achieving that implies strengthening controls. They also said they're reviewing their existing policies, trying to figure out how this happened and prevent it repeating. That internal review is absolutely crucial.
Okay, so for someone listening who got one of these letters or maybe thinks they might have, what's the specific advice? What should they actually do?
Right. The guidance is usually pretty layered. First, vigilance. Check your bank accounts, your credit card statements, religiously. Report anything weird immediately.
Don't wait.
Don't wait.
Yeah.
Second, they strongly recommend putting fraud alerts or even security freezes on your credit files. You do that with the big three bureaus, Equifax, Experian, TransUnion. The notification letter usually has contact info.
Fraud alert versus freeze. Is
Yep.
there a difference?
Yeah, a fraud alert flags your file, so lenders should take extra steps to verify your identity. A security freeze basically locks down your credit file so no one can open new credit in your name, usually including you, without unfreezing it. It's more restrictive, but offers stronger protection.
Gotcha. What else?
Get your free credit reports, you're entitled to them. Check them carefully for any accounts or inquiries you don't recognize. And just generally, stay alert. Report any suspected identity theft attempts or actual theft to the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, your state AG, and local police. It's about creating a safety net.
It really feels like this Aspire USA breach, while serious, is just another one. We hear about these constantly now.
You're absolutely right. It's definitely part of a much larger and frankly worrying trend. Think about it, just in January 2025, we had TalkTalk, Gravy Analytics, PowerSchool, all hit, millions affected.
Right.
And remember that huge United Health breach back in Feb 2024, impacting potentially 190 million people.
Yeah, that was massive.
It just shows that attackers are constantly going after personal data across all kinds of industries: healthcare, education, tech, finance. It doesn't matter how big or established you are, everyone seems vulnerable.
It really brings it home that cybersecurity isn't just an IT problem anymore. It's a core business risk.
Exactly. And the fallout isn't just about fines or fixing systems, it's about trust. When a company gets breached, customers lose confidence. Studies show a lot of people will just stop doing business with them. That reputational hit can be really damaging long term.
So if a company does face this kind of crisis, what does a really good response look like? Beyond just the basics like notifications and credit monitoring, what separates the okay response from, like, the gold standard?
That's a great question. It really comes down to a few key things. Speed and accuracy are vital, like we discussed. Getting information out quickly, but making sure it's reliable.
Okay.
Then transparency is huge. Be open, be honest. Don't try to spin it or hide details. People appreciate straightforward communication, even when the news is bad.
Own it, basically.
Own it, yes, and express genuine regret. Show accountability. Avoid blaming others or playing the victim. Then, crucially, demonstrate you're serious about fixing things and improving security going forward. Talk is cheap. People want to see action. And communicate thoroughly. Customers, employees, regulators, the media. Everyone needs to be kept in the loop appropriately.
What about the direct support for the victims?
That has to be customer-focused. Easy to find information, helplines that actually help, robust credit monitoring, and, importantly, identity restoration services if needed. Help people fix the mess.
Right, actually helping undo the damage.
Exactly. And finally, a good response treats the breach as a learning experience. A painful one, sure, but you have to analyze what went wrong, shore up defenses, and prepare better for the next potential incident because, sadly, there often is a next one. It's about building resilience.
This has been really insightful, looking at the Valsoft Aspire USA breach, but also placing it in that wider context. It's clear this isn't going away.
Not at all. I think the main takeaway is that protecting personal info is, well, it's everyone's job now, isn't it? For individuals like you listening, it means staying aware, being cautious, and taking action. If you get one of these notices, use the resources offered.
Definitely. And for businesses, it's just a constant evolving need for strong defenses.
Yeah.
Having a plan before something happens and being ready to communicate openly and honestly if it does.
Which leaves us all with a pretty big question, doesn't it? In this super connected world, how do we actually balance all the amazing benefits of technology with these very real risks to our personal data?
That's the million-dollar question, maybe billion-dollar now. How do we navigate that?
It requires constant vigilance, I think, and a real commitment to security from top to bottom, individuals and organizations alike.
Food for thought indeed. Thanks so much for breaking this down for us.
Happy to do it. It's important stuff.
And a final reminder that this deep dive was sponsored by Stonefly leaders in enterprise storage, backup and disaster recovery, AI storage, and cloud solutions. If you're looking for secure ransomware-proof storage, remember Stonefly sells air-gapped and immutable storage. You can contact sales@stonefly.com to schedule a demo.